Chick, chick, chick.
Check, check, check.
We do big clap. Nice. To another amazing episode of Should We Get Married with the wonderful hosts, Kiley and Kyle.
Thank you. Thank you.
How was that intro?
I felt like I was on a talk show and you were bringing me up on stage.
I'm a little over the top. I really am.
It's fantastic.
You like it?
I love the energy.
That's what I want to come in with, energy.
Yeah. You always come in with energy.
Wow. Okay. Was that a euphemism?
Yeah, isn't everything?
For sex.
I mean, lots of things.
Welcome to another episode of Should We Get Married? This is a podcast about relationships, about the vast, wonderful, complicated cosmos of relationships. We pose the question, should we get married? We pose the question, should anyone get married? We talk about all of it, relationships, and the nuances of it, and everything in between.
Should.
And this is what we do. We talk about our relationship and we talk about relationships in general. And last week we started back up again.
Yeah.
We were on a hiatus.
Little break.
And we're on YouTube. Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Howdy.
Hello. Hope you're watching on YouTube.
Looking good, you guys.
And Kiley, why don't you talk about how people can help us out?
You guys can go over to Instagram and go to SWGM Pod and give us a little follow. We do some behind the scenes stuffs and we share clips and videos and we let you know when we're going to drop a new episode. Also go over to YouTube and subscribe.
Yes, please.
You're going to see 2 videos with our faces on it now because we just started doing video podcasts, but there's also some from our previous episodes. Yeah, go to our website, scroll down to the bottom, ask us a question. We'll answer on the pod. Definitely forgot to check that, though, to answer some questions, Kyle.
Uh-oh. We'll do it next time.
Okay.
And,
I have some of them memorized, actually, and I can sum about 5 of them up. Okay. Yes, everything's okay. Yes, we're still together.
Yes.
Yes, we're still going to do podcasts.
Is that what people were asking?
Yeah, because, for months we weren't podcasting. Everyone's like, what's going on? They probably thought we broke up.
We went dark is what happened.
But it's all good, baby.
It's all good. So last week we talked a little bit about Christmas, but this week we're going to talk more about the holidays and everything. And let me just start right off the bat and say that you won Christmas this year.
It's not a competition.
But you did, though, fair and square.
The only reason that is a thing is because you just started proclaiming year after year when you had won Christmas. So it is now a thing.
But it's a playful thing.
And I did win. Yeah. I won. The first time ever.
It's like the commercialization of Christmas and all the whole thing is, yes, it's a bunch of bullshit, but it is amazingly fun to give gifts.
Yeah.
And it's a friendly competition between us.
Yeah, and it's just we're kidding around. You know what I actually felt this year?
Hang on a second. It is a joke, but I am serious.
Oh, okay.
I do like to win Christmas. Technically.
Well, then why didn't you try harder this year?
Technically, I did win because you got me the best gifts.
Yeah, who's the loser, really?
Yeah, right. It's kind of
actually loved your gifts. I loved everything I got. I always love what you get me.
Yeah.
You could get me nothing, and I would obviously love that too.
Really? Hang on a second. Let's talk about that. If I actually got you nothing for Christmas, and I was like, listen, here's a scenario. I decide that I'm no longer interested in the gift giving. Do you hear sound cutting out a little bit?
Yeah. I'm talking into my mic and then it cuts out.
Really? I hope that's not happening in the recording.
Check a one.
Check a one. This Rodecaster Pro has been a little frustrating, I will admit.
Yeah, it's kind of being a little piece of shit.
Little piece of shit. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's the scenario. For Christmas next year, let's say next year, I say, listen, I don't want to do gifts.
Okay.
I don't want to do the whole gift thing.
I'd be down.
And you still want to get gifts though. And you get me gifts but you're thinking like, that's interesting. Kyle doesn't want to get gifts, but does he really mean it? Is he actually going to do that, or is he going to
get me gifts?
Get me some gifts? And leading up to Christmas, you're like hinting at it like, hey, were you serious about the no gift thing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty serious about it. And you kind of go, yeah, maybe he'll get me a few gifts. And you get me gifts anyways. And then when Christmas comes, I actually don't get you gifts. What are your thoughts? Go. 3, 2, 1, go. Thoughts.
I think it would come down to hey, look at me in the eyes, serious talk, real talk. No gifts this year. And I think I can pretty much tell when you're being honest.
Yeah.
In the past, we've done like stockings only, which, by the way, that opened up a can of worms, because then you would just like overflow crazy ass, actually double stockings. Like,
I went double stockings this year.
If you said no gifts, I'd kind of be down with that. I'd rather maybe donate some money one year.
Okay.
Or donate a bunch of items from our house that we don't need, that kind of stuff, even though we do that already. But I'd be okay with that, and just getting like family members. What do you have?
I have a lottery ticket.
Lotto tickets.
Hang on, let me look this up. I'm going to look this up right now.
What about mine?
What about yours?
Where is it?
I don't know. Where's your lottery ticket?
Kyle's dad got us lotto tickets for Christmas. The whole fam. So our chances are real high.
Hang on a second. I'm going to do this live on the podcast.
Okay.
WaLottery.com. That's not the URL.
Yeah, it is. It's WA Lottery.
No, it's not. It is. It is WaLottery.com.
WA Lottery.
Here we go. Here it is. Hang on a second. Oh.
No. I'm going to keep talking while you do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
01
already lost. Fuck.
Loser.
Huh. Let me see. Did I get the second number? No. Third number? No. Fourth number?
It doesn't matter.
No. Fifth number? No.
It's done.
It's done.
What's done is done. It's okay.
What
honey.
if I won this 1.6 milli?
That'd be crazy.
Cash option $800,000. Would you do it? You get a full
800?
You get a balloon payment of $800
instead of what?
Instead of payments for the rest of your life.
What?
That some taxes are still taken out, but you get more if you get like yearly payouts.
I don't know. I've never thought about it before. What would you do?
Cash option, man. Bird in the hand is worth two
Here's
in the bush.
Here's the question. When someone gives you a gift of a lottery ticket,
yes,
and you win, do you give them a chunk of money?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, okay, so
how much? 50%?
Hell no. No.
It's your dad.
It's a tip though. 50%. Absolutely. That's crazy talk.
Okay, what's your percent?
Probably 10%.
Okay. So now everyone that was there for Christmas, the immediate fam.
Yep.
Would you distribute a little chunk to everyone that was there?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Well,
100%.
Have you noticed like that's starting to become like the vernacular when somebody agrees?
100%.
You do. So you're saying you 100% agree. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But did you hit your teeth with the
I
microphone?
hit my tooth.
Okay. Yeah, I would absolutely, and I would probably give people, our family members, at least $50,000 each out of that
Fine.
$800.
What would you give me, though? I'm more than a
You?
family member. I'm your family member, I'm your lover, and I'm your best friend.
What would you want?
I'd want you to pay off the house.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
Is that so much to ask? You're rich as fuck all of a sudden.
No, that's not. So so yes, I am rich, short-term rich, with $800,000, but can't retire on it.
Yeah. I was thinking mills.
You're rich now, but you still got to work.
I was thinking mills. $8 million, you'd do it, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Cool.
I'm not working a day for another person other than myself for the rest of my life if I had $8 million.
Passion projects
only. Only passion projects. And I probably do what I did when I was coming up. I'm still coming up with creative content creation, filmmaking and whatnot, photography. I'm still hustling. But I would go back to how I started doing this, which was do things for free for friends and family and, businesses that I meet along the way. That's what I would do. And so that's how I know I want to do this for a living, because I would just do it for free anyways.
And just watch like a shit ton of TV, right? Like more than usual?
No, I don't think I would, because you hit your tooth with the microphone again.
Oh, I'm new here. Anyway.
There's something going on where the sound sounds like it's cutting out, but hopefully when it's recorded, it doesn't do that.
Should we start over?
No, we shouldn't start over.
I think we could do a better job.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we could always do a better job.
That's true, Kyle.
Listen,
I'm listening.
For all you listeners out there, and for you too, Honeybee, is first of all, hello on YouTube, and welcome to the tube of you. And this is us looking at you, saying hello and waving, and I'm waving, and you're waving. Anyways, there's going to be some duds of this podcast. You can stop waving.
I agree.
There's going to be some real duds, and we've already had duds. Salem does this thing where he licks the carpet.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about this god-awful carpet that he really likes the taste of.
No. He does that anywhere.
But especially here. Anyway.
You know what I'm going to do, though, right after this podcast?
Send him to the pound.
I'm going to take him right to the pound.
I don't think they'd take him.
They probably wouldn't take him.
Too annoying.
They'd probably say...
I'm just kidding. We have the best dog in the world, and we're not going to take that for granted because he's only going to live for a few more years.
You ruin the joke when you say I'm just kidding.
I have to say I'm kidding because I don't...
That's your own insecurities.
I'm uncomfortable.
That's
that's fine.
What? If you want to be a real jokester, you don't apologize, and you don't say I'm just kidding.
Okay, enough. I can't talk about anything else until we get this out of the way.
Oh, okay.
For years, we haven't been able to agree on something, and I need to talk about it.
Okay. Hang on a second. You're putting this out there, and we're not in a me likey, no likey?
Well, we're not going to do that today, and our whole lives are mean likey, meano likeys. Really.
That's true.
All of us.
I can agree with that.
So we're constantly...
You mean relationships in general?
Every relationship is a constant inner recognition of something you're either trying to deal with that someone is doing or realizing like, oh, that's awesome. That person's really cool. I like what he's doing.
I have a question for you right now.
You have the floor now.
How uncomfortable are you?
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Honest question.
On camera?
Yeah, on camera, doing a podcast.
70%.
You threw me off with the percentage. I didn't know we were going percentage. That's 70 out of 100%.
Uh-huh.
That you're uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's a fair amount.
How uncomfortable are you?
Honestly?
Yeah.
65%.
But you've been on stage almost your whole life.
Oh my God. Well, I had the worst stage fright.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, who doesn't? Like,
Well, right.
if you don't have stage fright, you have that gift. It's one of two things. You have that gift where you're like, I'm comfortable up here for some reason, or
Narcissist?
you're a psychopath.
Uh-huh. A psychopathic narcissist, perhaps.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. But also, beta blockers didn't exist then. Have you ever thought about trying those if you ever go back on stage?
No way, man. I want to feel life at its realest.
Okay. Aren't you just kind of curious of how that feels, though,
Oh,
and how
of
that'll
course.
work?
Listen,
Can you imagine having zero insecurity with a room full of people looking at you? What would that feel like?
I can imagine.
Have you had that?
Yeah. So
Whoa.
when you, let's say you're a musician, in my case,
Cool.
I used to play to people up on a stage,
Uh-huh.
and upon that stage, you do it enough, and you do it often enough, and all of a sudden it feels cozy.
Weird.
It doesn't just feel cozy.
I'm talking sometimes into the mic and it's not recognizing.
It's not coming through.
Let's just roll with it though. Stop talking about it. How annoying is it? Okay, so you get cozy after a time. You looked pretty cozy up there when I met you, I have to say.
I was just gonna say, you don't just get cozy. You transcend it, and it becomes something else entirely. And it's hard to explain how amazing that feeling is when you're up there on stage and you're confident and you're commanding a room full of people. It feels crazy good. Can't really explain how good that feels.
You know, it feels crazy good to be one of the people you're commanding too.
Oh, yes.
Like, because I've
really?
been in the audience as you've been on stage.
Yeah.
And the first night I met you, granted, a friend introduced me to you before you went on stage, so I had met you, but then was watching you the whole time on stage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I couldn't look away. Couldn't look away.
Yes.
And then
okay.
started dating. Fast forward a while, you brought me with you to one of your shows in Portland.
Uh-huh.
And then I was in the audience as your girlfriend, which was fantastic as well, because you're like in the crowd and no one really knows. And you did this thing when you were doing your thing up there. You like looked around and like found me in the crowd with your eyes and like did an eye contact thing while you're playing. And like you like made sure to acknowledge me just for like a one-on-one thingy. Okay. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. But the way you explained it and moved your body made it not cool. You know, it looked like I was being a real douche.
Oh, no.
Because you were like, and you made eye contact with me like that.
Yeah. I hate being on YouTube. Let me tell you.
You do?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'd rather just focus on what I'm talking about and not think about how awkwardly I'm sitting and fidgeting and looking.
Yeah. So
I need a beta blocker.
Remember when we were talking about horse therapy?
Yes.
Equine
therapy.
Okay. I believe we are doing a version of that.
Okay.
When you're putting yourself, it's another layer on top of the podcast. We're putting ourselves out there. We're putting ourselves how we look out there. And we might be, uncomfortable for whatever situation, but we got to show up anyways. We're committed to this thing. And by the way, we got to earn back some listener trust because we ghosted for a while. So we have some work to do ahead of us. And I think this is therapy in and of itself. Just being on screen, putting ourselves out there publicly, being vulnerable, talking about our stuff. And so I think it's good that we're doing it. And when I say I love it, I mean, I'm just kind of doing it uncomfortable until we do it often enough, and we're on stage often enough. See where I'm going? See where I'm headed?
You're
Full circle.
You're bringing it back.
Yes. Then hopefully we can transcend this feeling, and it starts to feel really good.
Awesome.
That's
I
where
love that.
that's where I want to head.
Okay. Well, let's do that then.
What were you gonna bring up?
Thank you.
Okay.
It's like I'm talking, my mouth and face is talking, but my mind is elsewhere because we can't agree on something that is a daily function of life, and you either agree or you don't, but it is fact when it gets down to it. So,
Are you going to get to it?
when you make food or drink, you must heat the apparatus.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Because if you pour a hot coffee or a hot tea into a cold mug, if you know how... Is it physics? Physics works? If you know how science works...
There you go. That's the catch-all.
A hot thing touching a cold thing, the cold thing pulls out the heat, okay? So if you're pouring hot coffee into a cold mug, it's immediately going to get lower in temperature.
Why are you mansplaining this?
You're not going to be able to drink it for longer. If you put hot pizza on a cold plate, the second piece is going to be cold by the time you go to eat it. Agree? Agree. It's a fact. Okay, so I heat my cups beforehand, I heat plates beforehand, and the food and the drinks last longer. And anytime I do this or mention this, you basically say it's not a thing. And then it doesn't make a difference.
You know what's really baking my goat right now?
What?
You really know what's boiling my beans? is why do men get the bad rap for mansplaining? Because you just went on a 30-second tirade of a mansplain to me, and yet you're a woman, a female lady of the night.
Of the night? I had to explain it for the listeners.
So, okay, well, you mansplained it for them.
I had to explain the facts.
Here's the deal about the heating the apparatus is it absolutely does something. It improves the experience. I just don't give a shit. I'm not interested in the time it takes to pour hot water into a coffee mug.
Seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Seconds count on workflow.
We got this new...
Same with heating plates and stuff. Just I want to slap the plate on the food. I mean, slap the food on the plate.
Okay, fine.
And eat the food.
I got it.
Okay.
However,
yeah,
I just gave you this cup of tea here, and you're like, it's not hot. You said, it's not hot as usual.
I did say that.
Would you take it off the boiler sooner than usual?
I did do that.
And I said, no, I just didn't heat the apparatus. And you're like, oh, well, that wouldn't make a difference.
Hang on a second. I did say...
Fucking boom, roasted.
I did say, this tea is colder than usual. Did you take it off the boil sooner?
No, I did not.
Here's where I think you're wrong.
Okay.
And not only does it make that big of a difference when you heat the apparatus, but I've heated it through. I've boiled the water, and it can stay scalding for a long time. So I call BS, and you pulled it off the boil sooner than usual.
I did not. And the fact is, sometimes your mugs are colder or not in the house. Some mugs are thicker, and they pull more energy out.
Here's where we're at. You want to know where we're at?
You don't give a shit.
We're at an impasse.
Okay.
I think you're lying about the boil pull-off.
I am not lying.
Well, I still think you are lying.
You know what?
How do we move on from this?
How about a taco?
Huh?
Are you sick of eating cold tacos?
What?
I'm fucking sick of eating
What?
cold tacos, you guys.
What? Hang on a second. Where does the cold taco thing come from, and why did you even bring it up?
It takes so long to plate a taco and put your toppings on and diddly daddly that by the time you do that and then take a seat and then roll it up and start eating it, the meat's always cold.
Yeah.
Aren't you sick of that?
I am sick of cold tacos. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah. If your plate was warm or hot, it wouldn't happen.
No, it would still happen.
Oh,
There's a
my
barrier. So when you lay down the
God.
tortilla, there's a barrier between the tortilla and the meat. And the meat.
And that's sour cream, which is cold.
Will you stop coming out of left field, dude?
We're talking about the same barrier,
So
right?
the sour cream inevitably is always cold then because it comes out of the fridge. How do you heat
Exactly.
that? You want to heat up the sour cream too?
You don't have to heat the sour cream, but another cold element brings the temperature down even more. So you need to make sure the other parts stay hot if you're going to have a cold sauce involved.
You know what, Kylie? This is not the heating the apparatus is not the solution. The solution is make your fucking taco quicker.
All right. I guess we can try that.
Wow, you really... Is it because I said the F word or I said it so confidently that you said, yeah, that's...
It's because that's also a solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's what I love about you is you can get real logical.
Isn't that sexy?
Yes, it
So
is so
logical.
sexy. You have no idea.
Super reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, is it funny that I'm so logical sometimes and you're not?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sexy.
How many
too.
ways do you think there is to skin a cat?
Ugh,
If you had to put a number on it.
I don't really like that analogy.
I'm wondering if we're ever going to get to Christmas.
Endless.
There's endless.
Yeah.
No, you got to put a number on it. I mean, there's not, it can't.
Are you talking specifically about this issue?
No, I'm talking about a literal cat.
Oh. Well, that's a good question because there's a CrossFit move called
Is it a
Skin
good
Cat.
question?
No.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Should we move on? All right. I got a thing I want to talk to you about
All right.
real quick. I have it in my notes. Okay, so here it is. What do you think about when you're around Salem? Just knocked the camera. It shook.
It's fine.
I can't even deal with it.
It's fine.
I love you, buddy. You're going back to the pound.
All right. What do you want to talk to me about?
When you go to friends or family
Yeah.
as a couple, you're a couple,
Sure.
and you get there.
This is good. I want to talk about this.
Okay. And you get there and you settle in. You do the how's the weather and fucking COVID and culture things are happening.
Yeah.
Which way do you lean? Oh, that's weird. And you get through that stuff, and you get through the, hey, do you want some water? Did you get enough food? Do you want some snacks?
Sure.
You get through all that. And then you get through the, hey, should I take my shoes off? Should I leave them on? That kind of thing. Then after that, you get through, hey, where's the bathroom? Is it down on the left?
What's next?
After that's usually, have you seen any good movies lately or something like that?
Always.
And then after that is typically, what comes after that?
Talking about work. How's work?
Talking about work. Yeah, you talk about how's work. Or maybe if you don't know them, what do you do for a living?
Well, you said we were at friends or family. So.
Okay, back to that. All right. So you get there and you're a couple, and then you start to flirt as a couple, but you do it with arguments. Or eye-rolling situations, or...
Oh, man.
Like, for example, perfect example is Kyle doesn't like to heat the apparatus. Can you believe that? Eye roll.
Oh, right.
That kind of stuff.
You kind of bring up nitpicky but kind of funny things where you're jabbing, but you're also not real mean.
It's a playful, argumentative thing, and it happens all the time I see it all the time. We do it all the time.
Definitely. I'm probably worse at that than you are. I probably do that more than you.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
And why is that? Why does that do you
I
think?
used to have way worse behaviors, I think, because my family grew up jabbing each other and making fun of each other and stuff like that. So I did that in relationships too. I did it we talked about it in the early dating
Yes,
days.
we did. We did do that.
I think I've gotten better, but I notice myself doing it still.
Me too. It's easy to fall into that trope. It's easy to like just kind of sit right there in the trenches of, well, she said this.
Right.
And
she has 8 pillows.
Yeah, totally.
4.
And then everybody laughs because
we all relate. That's what's up.
And also, that's a ridiculous amount of pillows. And you don't agree with that. You think that's an appropriate amount of pillows?
4?
You just said 8, and then I followed it up with 8.
Well, there's 8 on the bed. I mean, you got your neck pillow, you got your barrier pillow, you got your hug while I sleep pillow, and then you got your decorative pillow that you use while you're watching TV, but that goes on the floor when you sleep. Oh, and then the middle decorative pillow that goes in between the 2 big ones.
That's too many pillows.
We can't talk about this again.
Why? So why do? And it's a female thing, right? Because I have not met one dude ever in my entire life. Never seen it. Never ever seen it where they decorate the bed with pillows. And I'm sure it happens. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Let me ask you this, Kyle.
Yeah. Okay, Kylie.
Do you use those pillows?
Yeah.
Fucking busted. Do you prop yourself up with a comfy pillow to watch TV and then put it on the floor to sleep?
Yes.
Cool.
All right. Let's move on from that. Anyways, so the argumentative thing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
You're just gonna kick that ball over into my court and have me address it?
Where are you at with that? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I feel like you and I do okay with it. I think we do a fine job. We don't overdo it. We don't underdo it.
Well, you got to be careful because if you do overdo it, it can lead to actual arguments in front of people.
Oh, has that ever happened to us? I don't think so.
I think we've stayed away from that, but I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, some people really are getting at each other, and you can see it in their eyes that it's a deeper. Like they've had the discussion before, and it's not resolved.
Yeah, it's coming back up again, and it's coming up quick, and it's gonna get weird.
Yeah, you got to keep it light-hearted.
You got to keep it light.
Light pillows, fine. Socks on the floor, fine.
Hang on a second. You don't like socks on the floor? This is new.
Your socks aren't just on the floor. I find them in our bed. Like there'll be like 4 to 6 pairs of dirty socks at the end of the bed when I make it.
Here's what I do.
And I laugh at that. It's like hilarious.
Is it a painful laugh? Like, it's so funny, but I hate it.
It's like, what a quirk. But seriously, fucking put them in the laundry basket. How hard is that?
I actually don't have a laundry basket since the move.
Okay.
I need a new laundry basket. But here's
that
what
would definitely change it.
Here's what I do when I'm in bed is all of a sudden, you know, when your feet have socks on them, but they're cold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every day.
So that's because they're cutting off the circulation, that rubber band at the top of the socks that comes like, you know, a fifth of the way up your shin.
Yeah, I know the band of the
Did
sock.
I just mansplain that to you? Okay. So that's cutting off circulation, and when you kick your socks off, then the blood starts flowing back into your feet. And what I do is I kick my socks off right there in the bed, and they just stay there.
Yeah. They stay there. They stay on the floor.
Okay. I have some dirtbag tendencies.
Oh, your side of the bed is so... I'm glad that I'm on the...
Hold the phone.
One closest to the door. You don't know what you're going to find on your side of the bed.
Well, there's usually a smattering of socks.
Yes.
Perhaps. And then there's 40 pillows that I need to take off the bed to sleep. And then, let me finish.
Uh-huh.
And then there's several electronic devices.
And cords.
Lots of cords. I just bought this 10-foot. I just bought this 10-foot iPhone charging cord.
Cool story.
And you want to know why I bought the 10-footer?
So you could look at your phone while
Because
you
I
fall
thought
asleep.
6 feet wasn't enough when I was shopping for it on Amazon. Turns out it's too much. But you benefited from that, didn't you? Because I gave you a 6-foot cord. You needed it.
Yeah.
And you enjoy it, and it changed your life.
Let's talk more about cords. This is
You don't
cool.
like talking about cords?
No, I want to keep talking about how Slumdog Millionaire your side of the bed is.
I really think that the cord thing played when I talked about
You
it.
forgot to mention the dirty dishes and used paper towels.
That's on both of us. Okay.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Hang on a second.
Every night after we watch TV, I bring down my dishes. I throw my stuff away that needs to be thrown away. And I turn off all the lights and lock all the doors.
Pump the brakes a little bit. Have you realized we need to take a step back right now? Have you realized what has happened?
We've been inside too long.
No. What? Stop coming in from left field, dude. No, the thing that I brought up is happening. The
Hungry?
playful arguments. I'm hungry too. We're doing the playful
Yeah, we're
arguments
doing it.
right now.
We are doing it.
Self-awareness.
Oh.
Self-awareness.
So anyway. This is a wild card episode.
I think they should all be wild card episodes. In fact,
Yeah.
they should be more wild card episodes. In fact, the podcasts that I listen to, they're batshit crazy, and I love the hell out of them.
Yeah, that's true. More crazy, more better.
So, okay, well, that's all right. So you're good with it? You got to toe the line with the arguments.
I'm not good with your side of the bed, if that's what you want to talk about.
Okay. So, all right. My side of the bed is kind of, this is the point I was trying to make, is this is on both of us because we haven't set up our TV room down in the basement yet. So we eat and watch TV up in the bedroom, especially with this 30 days of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some dirty plates in there. I don't know, I mean, like, that's just going to happen.
I don't understand the correlation between
You don't understand it?
having a different room where you would watch TV in versus putting your dirty dishes away.
Really? You can't put that one together?
There are no dirty dishes on my side of the bed.
There are sometimes.
Not overnight. I can't sleep like that.
Okay. All right. Not overnight. But I'm just saying that's why, is because we're up there eating food.
Yeah. A lot of crummies in that bed.
Hey, Salem.
Lay down.
Lay down.
Lay down.
Lay down.
Lay down.
Lay down.
Good boy.
Why does it take a dog so goddamn long to lay down sometimes?
I don't know. I can relate, though. Gotta get comfortable.
Yeah, you do. It takes you need to circle your sleep spot like 40 times.
Dude. Yeah, it's a problem. Okay, I want to talk about holiday stuff, too.
Yeah, holidays, families. It's a stressful time of year.
Yeah.
And then COVID.
Also, is it, though? For you?
Actually, no, not really.
Me neither.
Here's why it's not as stressful for me is because I've done, and it used to be very stressful, I've done a lot of work with boundaries, not just literal boundaries, telling people how I feel about things and where I don't want to navigate to in a conversation, but also internally on letting go, knowing when it's just okay to let something roll off my back, or when it's okay to speak up on a thing, or
Right.
what am I talking about? Salem's very distracting.
I don't know. You're saying you've done a lot of work to be
Yeah.
comfortable at your family's houses, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It is not stressful to go see them. Also, if you don't want to go somewhere, you won't go somewhere. But
I just won't go, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
and we also don't have to do the 4 Christmases thing because my family doesn't really live here.
Yep.
except for my mom, but we don't do like a big, family thing anymore because the rest of the family's not here.
Right.
Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is it's not that stressful for us. And then for COVID, I know that the holidays really sucked for a lot of people because you can't travel, you can't go see, you can't have big family gatherings and all that. But it wasn't that different for us because we still just see really small groups. We just go see your moms and we go see your dads.
Yeah.
And it was great and it was normal.
Yep.
But I was reading this article and it talked about, I forget what the word was for it, but holidays are like a thing that help you, like when you're first in a relationship and you're dating, even a couple years in, the holidays and those kinds of events.
I just can't even with this dog today.
Just ignore him.
I'm trying to, but he's making noises.
Out.
Now he's going to tippy tap on the floor. There it is. And he saunters off, slow ass.
Well, I forgot what I was talking about.
Did I throw you off?
Yeah.
That much?
Yeah, I got to look at my notes.
It was Salem's fault. Salem, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Good boy. You got to follow it up with a good boy.
Okay. The article is talking about rituals, right?
Okay.
Rituals in very many different forms. So as a couple, you start to form rituals, right?
Uh-huh.
Like a morning ritual, a nighttime ritual, obviously. But also we as individuals have our own rituals.
Why is the nighttime ritual obvious?
I just mean morning and night are kind of typical like routine times.
Got it.
And you have things you do together as a couple. But every individual has their own routines and things that they do. So when you start dating or you maybe get married or move in together, you're then witnessing those rituals that the other person has. And it's a way of deepening your connection to them.
Yeah.
Getting to know them better. Seeing things maybe you haven't seen before. And one of those is going home for the holidays.
Okay.
And so the first time you go home or go to a big family gathering or a holiday, specifically Christmas for a lot of people, that like you get to view your partner in a totally different light, and behaviors that were maybe obscured before are now
here we go
happening.
They are happening.
They're happening.
Yeah.
So, it was like a big study was done or something, and like the 2-year mark is where I usually bring someone to a holiday or something like that, and it like specific to marriage helps people determine like if they're gonna stay in it for the long run or not.
Here's one that I do that I know you've noticed.
What?
Is when I'm done in the family situation.
Yep.
I sit on the couch and I check out.
You check out.
Yeah.
And
I just
then
turn it off.
I have to carry the conversation.
You don't have to carry on anything, though,
Well,
is what you don't know.
I actually checked out the other day. It was nice, but I
Check.
didn't do it on purpose. I just got in a loophole on, social media.
When I was first getting sober,
Okay.
a mentor told me when it's okay to leave, you can just leave.
Right.
And so it took me a long time to practice that and to be okay with that, because you want, like, for whatever reason, expectations and what people think about you and what you like all this guilt on leaving early to a thing, or not just saying no and not going, or saying no to the second, third act of the night, or whatever it is.
Expectations that your family has on you.
Yeah, family or friend thing or whatever, work thing, whatever it is. I finally just started saying, fuck it. I'm just not gonna do the thing that I don't want to do. Within reason, I do a lot of things that I don't want to do. But that's just another version of that. I'll check out. I'll stare at the phone. I'll play video games. I'll watch the whatever football games on.
You do.
Or I'll just like eat cookies for hours.
You either need a break or it's time to go.
By the way, I started eating sugar again after 2 months of not eating sugar.
You did, and a lot of it.
A lot of sugar. Too
and it
much.
Feels good, right?
Yeah, it feels good. But now I'm starting to get like a consistent morning hangover from it, and that's not cool.
No, I feel you. I've had that hangover for months.
It was that hard for you to sit for months.
I'm hungover right now.
For months.
Need some sugar now.
Where are we at?
I gotta bring it back.
Yeah, let's go back.
Because I wanted to ask
rituals.
I wanted to ask you. We were talking.
Ask it away.
Shut up. We were talking the other night about this being stop laughing. Hey,
I love it when you like when you really go for it, because you can't. It's just like it's you've broke and it's shut up.
Yeah, I never seriously tell you to shut up though.
But you were how much of that was serious though?
It was 50-50 playful.
No, it was more than that.
Anytime I say shut up, because it's usually like mostly joking, and I know it's gonna make you laugh.
Okay. All right. And it did. Where are we at? What are we talking about?
So this was our 7th Christmas together.
7 years. Holy shit balls.
But 7th Christmas, including one where we were like sort of broken up, but still saw each other.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, when you first came to like a family event or family ritual, can you remember those obscure behaviors or family languages or what have you that you noticed for the first time that to you maybe were red flags? Can you remember?
Oh, yeah. This is hardcore stuff. Are you sure you want to get into this publicly?
Like, can you keep it specific to me, to what I would do?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
What did you notice me acting differently?
Yeah, but usually the thing where you act differently is tied to someone else. Here's what bothered...
Just say it. Go for it.
Here's what bothered me the most when we were first getting together.
Okay.
Our age difference is 6 years.
Yeah.
I was 30 and we started dating when you were 24.
Yeah.
It was too young.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It was way too fucking young.
What
were we even...
It's good for me.
What were we even thinking? I tried to break it off several times.
Twice.
It was more than
Not
twice.
gonna happen.
And I had a stage 5 clinger, come to find out. And that was you.
Did you feel that way?
No, I didn't.
I tried to play it cool, man, but it was hard.
You are cool, honey. Okay. You're cool and
Thanks.
You're logical and you're chill and, you're just like one of the guys.
Oh. Tell me though, like just go for it.
Here's what bothered me.
Because we've talked about it. I just want to reminisce.
It wasn't a holiday thing. It was when you were hanging out with your friends.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Because everybody was 24 years old and I'm 30.
Yeah.
And when your behavior around your friends and vice versa, I was like, what am I doing here? I'm way out of place. People are carting in kegs and
lots of Coors Light.
So much Coors Light.
Yeah, I remember. I know what parties you're talking about.
And we didn't go to these often, but whenever I would, and it was like a birthday party. It wasn't like you were partying or anything.
Right.
It was, it was a thing where you showed up for a friend or friends, and
right.
And I would come every once in a while, and I just didn't. You would fold into this like, saw a lot of like high school, college behaviors, stuff that I didn't even go to college, so I didn't do that.
Right.
And I just didn't like any of that stuff. We talked about it.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was also very sympathetic because you were younger, and then that would get me into a tailspin. Like, is this going to even work out? Turns out so far it has.
Yeah.
Really well.
Wow,
but
you really hung in there, didn't you?
I hung in there. You were 24.
Man. Yeah. You see, yeah.
Anyways.
It sounds really young to me now.
I know, too young. Honestly, I don't know. I feel a little gross about it.
You do?
30 and 24? Not really. No, not really. Not really.
Okay.
I think like
a lot of people are that far apart in age.
The difference between 20 and 25 is huge.
Yeah. And 25 and 30 even.
25 and 30 is huge. 30 to 35, I don't think it's that big of a difference from the 20 to 25 and then 25 to 30.
Honestly, too, like age difference aside,
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff I just generally needed to figure out personally, family wise, like had to go to therapy, did the Al-Anon thing, like
Right.
really a lot of changes, a lot of self exploration, and you hung out through all of that.
Well, that's why is because you started working your ass off on that stuff. And some of it we talked about, but mostly you just started doing it anyways.
Which people tend to do around that age, right? Like 25-ish.
Yeah,
You
I think
say?
so. Yeah, because it's more, I think 20 to 25,
You're a new adult.
your brain's still scrambled.
Yeah.
And then 25 to 30, you're figuring out who you actually want to be. Like, like that is the thing you're doing in those years. 20 to 25 is, you're doing that as well, but 25 to 30 is like, holy fuck, dude, who do I want to be and who am I?
20 to 25, you're just so pumped to have freedom, I think.
Yeah.
Freedom from parents, from school, from being recognized as a teenager. Yeah, you're kind of in that phase.
So the ritual, even like, and when you were around your family during holidays, a lot of the stuff that bothers me is how you communicate and set your boundaries and how much you care about what other people think of you. I think is ultimately.
Are you saying now or then? Oh.
I guess now too. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
You think I care too much what my family thinks?
I don't know if too much is the proper phrasing. I just know that it used to be too much, for sure.
Oh, I agree.
You're trying other people's expectations had. I mean, they're always powerful to any one of us, but they were really powerful to you.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I wasn't with somebody who was standing on their own 2 feet type of thing.
Well, that was true. I wasn't on my own 2 feet yet. I had a strong link to my family, and there was something about me, probably my personality, maybe some codependence, and also my family unit, I guess, that I felt like I felt a lot of expectation, but not necessarily in a bad way. I had support, supportive parents. But what am I trying to say here? I felt I owed them a lot. They kind of gave me everything, and they gave me opportunity. Some would call that privilege. Yes. They sent me to college, that kind of stuff. So I felt as though I needed to do right by them.
This is
paving the way.
This is good because I don't have that perspective with my parents.
Right.
Which I don't think is healthy. Supportive or not supportive, that's irrelevant. I think I was so anti them, and so I had so much fuck you in me that I didn't even consider that stuff. And
I know. Oh, go ahead.
Our relationship was really messy, and in a good world, if things turned out differently, they would have shown more respect towards me and then I to them. But that's not how it worked out. It was, alcoholic family, codependent to the nines, and we're all just kind of flailing around in shallow water trying to figure it out. And it sounds like to me you had a healthier relationship growing up than I did. And so, maybe I was seeing that and insecure because of that. And hearing you and your perspective now, and we have talked about this, but it's just kind of funny how the nuance pops up whenever you do talk about it again. And that's why I think talking about things, and you can definitely beat a dead horse, as the saying goes. Awful saying. It's very violent.
I know.
It's very violent.
Why would you do that?
Why would you beat a dead horse in the first place, or skin a cat?
I guess that's the point.
So I guess that is the point. But when you got to talk through things until they're figured out, and then you take a break, and then maybe circle back around to it.
And it's been years.
And it's not like a throw. Talking about things often isn't like a throw in the face situation. It's more of a figure it out situation, because you can easily throw in the face with this kind of stuff. But my point is that's really interesting that you brought that up and your perspective on that, and now I'm realizing how wonderful that is that you did that, where I saw it as weakness, turns out it's a strength.
Wow, interesting. Oh, that took a turn, huh?
Yeah. Well, do me. Do me. Do what what bothers you about my rituals.
Well, before I go there, I think part of what you said, we did have different kind of upbringings and different attitudes, I think, at that sort of, early 20s age. And I kind of think that a small part of the attraction to one another was that opposite thing, because I always really kind of like wanted to have a rebellious fuck you attitude, but I so strongly felt like I was, like I really had to follow the rules and listen to my parents and shit.
Yeah.
So I never truly was.
You do follow rules. So it's frustrating how much.
All right.
There was this one time we were crossing the street. Remember this? In Everett? No cars coming. No cars. Couldn't see a car. And it said stop on the other side of the street. And I just started walking, and you guys go, Kyle, stop. And I go, what are you guys doing? There's no cars coming. And you had to wait for the green man to show up.
You just never know when something's going to come out of nowhere.
But you can use your intuition and, what you can see with your eyeballs and hear with your earballs. And
my street walking has improved.
Yes, it has.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, it has.
But yeah, I was attracted to that about you. That you just had like a cool, calm, collect, no fucks to give air about you. And then, I think maybe on a deep level, something was attracted to the fact that I had this kind of like normal-ish sort of path in life.
Yes, you nailed it.
Yeah.
I can't believe. Have you always felt that way? You've just never brought it up to me?
I think we've maybe talked about this.
Or are we figuring this out right now in the moment?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because that's really cool how you're aware of that, and because it's correct. I wanted somebody who was solid. I wanted somebody in my life who I could really rely on. And that was a big thing for me in my next relationship, which is you, when I was looking. I wanted somebody who could hold down a job. Not that wasn't there before, but I wanted somebody who was responsible, who was good with money, wasn't afraid of, dealing with money stuff.
Oh, I also owned my own business at the time, and I think you liked that I had kind of like entrepreneurially started this thing. It was working.
Oh, well, stuff. Yeah, if we want to get into that, I am a little frustrated that you never, you left this company. That's not why I was frustrated. The frustrating part is it seemed like the entrepreneur was zapped out of you after that.
Oh, yeah.
Am I correct? Are you done with with the hustle?
No, but it did open my eyes to, it was really hard and it was a lot of work. So maybe I I've got a huge lazy part about me, and
As do I.
I was
As
also
do I.
I was also really, quite young after college, like on the in the working scene, if you will, and it was really fun. I loved and still love my business partner. And, we got a lot of clients and we were doing really well. But we just got to a point where, like, the amount of work wasn't reflected in the amount of money we were making. We were kind of like at a standstill with, okay, either we go full throttle, maybe get a loan, hire more employees and go for this, or we can kind of call it. And I think we had been doing that for so long because it was like 2 or 3 years of that. And even before that, we were working for another entrepreneur for a few years that we were like craving working at a normal job at one place where you have a title that you do this thing and like you clock in and clock out. So
I can relate to that.
we both had opportunities in front of us to do that, with a fucking salary. And I think we were just wiped out. I also reflect back on that time and I feel really bad because my business partner is so hardworking. She was always at the office before me and after me and thinking and working around the clock. And she was a little older than me too. And I think I just didn't give it my all after a while, maybe. I don't know. I feel bad. Maybe if I had gone over 100%, it would have been different. I want to talk to her about that. It's been a while.
I'm sure it's fine.
We really got off on a tangent there.
Yeah, so do me, though.
Do you?
Yeah, do me on the ritual thing.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. What stood out the most to me was boundaries and strong communication weren't qualities that I had yet or knew how to do yet. And you had them so strong that it almost made me uncomfortable. So with certain family members, you just would be like, kind of put your foot down, if you will, or, stop them from saying certain thing, or, just hard boundaries, which I know that you needed to do and you learned to do. And it was something that I wanted to be able to do with my family in a way, but being physically present with it would make me uncomfortable.
Well, it's really hard to do, and it's hard to do in a way to where you don't ruin somebody's day, including yourself. Because those little mini confrontations are like, my heart's going 1,000 miles per hour. I have a lot of social anxiety. I sweat through my pits like crazy. I start to shiver. I start to get really cold. Anxiety comes up, all this stuff. I have to pee all of a sudden. I have all of that. But so it's not easy. And I try and cut it with humor as much as possible. And I try and do it in a way to where I don't get spun out and that person doesn't get spun out if I can manage it. And my favorite things to do is like, I'm not Christian, right? So I don't believe in the Christian deities, and the gods of lore, and the yours, and all that. So when we all hold hands
and say grace or whatever before dinner,
say the grace or whatever, I always end it with a namaste out loud.
Well, you also keep your eyes open, look around, don't say a word. Like, I'm not partaking in this.
I don't give a shit about that stuff.
And then everyone goes amen, and you go, namaste.
Namaste. Here's the thing is, I don't want to get roped into your thing.
Yeah.
I want, if it was, I love hey, let's everybody give thanks around the table. What are you thankful for on Thanksgiving?
Agree.
But I am not into holding hands and doing a Lord's Prayer. That is not cool at all. It's like making everybody eat. It's like bringing a vegetarian or a vegan in, and everybody has to eat cheeseburgers. It's not okay to do that. And I will always feel that way. But here's where I'm at with it is if I'm really sick of it, I'll be bullish about it and I'll make fun of it because I know I'm not the only one. I know it. And if I am, fuck it. But most of the time, I just, I don't say anything.
Right.
Most of the time. It's like the 49th time I will call out some stuff. Like, hey, there's other people here that believe other things. And
Right.
guess what? You're not you're not. You may or may not know what's right in the world.
Right.
And
there were times where that made me uncomfortable, but that one also is like, that's a very you thing and you have the right to do that.
Yeah.
And there are certain things that your partner does in a social setting that you feel like their behavior is reflecting on you. But that one didn't really feel that way to me. I can be at the table separate, and if you want to do the namaste thing, I don't have to be embarrassed or whatever. I actually agree with it.
Well, I'm hoping somebody will find the dark, twisted humor in it, and I'll get a laugh.
Usually there are some laughs. There are a couple of families where they don't get it, and
No,
I actually don't pray with them either.
Yeah, and they probably take it really serious and get offended, but that is hilarious to me. If they feel like it's so serious to them that they'll get offended.
I know.
That makes it even funnier.
So that was family specific thing with like setting the boundaries, and when you would check out, I'd feel like I have to carry the conversation because like if I'm in a room where anything feels awkward, that was I think my role, maybe. That's my natural role growing up or whenever was to feel like I needed to like.
Well, those are awkward
even
situations.
Out the mood.
Yeah. What do I do? Where do I put my hands? Here's a funny thing I want to say.
Here's a joke. Yeah, and specifically with friend stuff, that was a whole different ball game because you were sober. I was still at the age where I was drinking a lot. I had friends who drank a lot. So learning to be just like content not drinking was new. It's not something I didn't like. I actually almost felt rebellious in a way. It was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to a big old party and I'm not going to drink. Like I liked that aspect of that. But what was tough was when you were ready to go, it was time to go. And that ironically is another boundary. So you just talked about it earlier. You learned that when it is time to go, it's time to go. And when you're uncomfortable, you get to leave. And that's something I'm able to do now. But at the time, that was foreign to me because of the expectation. That's
still a tough one with us because I'll often want to leave way, way earlier than you do.
Right.
And sometimes it'll even grow into a big argument while we're there. Yeah. When we went camping this last time.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I wanted to go home a day early.
Yeah.
And you needed to stay through breakfast the next morning.
Right.
I don't even eat breakfast. Like, can't we just pack up and go? And you're like, hey, I want to sit down and have a coffee and hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
And so we battle that still.
I have a tough time with canceled plans. Speaking of 2020, I have this thing where like I always need or want to have something to look forward to, and then when it's over, I'm sad. But if I'm really counting on something and planning for something, and then you or the other person doesn't want to do it or decides, don't want to go or whatever it is, that's really hard for me.
Yeah, and I'm the exact opposite. If plans get canceled, I'm like, yes, I have all this free time. I can watch movies. I can go hang out with somebody else. I can play video games. I can write music, whatever. I just love it. I just love it when that happens.
Right. I think I'm getting better at it, but
I don't think there's a right or wrong way here. I
it's
think
usually with like, especially traveling, like, oh, we're going on this camping trip, or it happened recently when we sold the house. We planned our very first motorcycle trip. We like mapped it out. We were doing the ferries on several different islands. We had Airbnbs set up and hotels, and it was time to put the house up for sale and get some things done. So we didn't go. Oh, that was tough.
Yeah, we gifted the vacation to my mom and her husband.
Yeah.
That was really tough for me, though, too, because we decided to sell the house and we had already made these plans. And honestly, that motorcycle trip with you, that was one of the things where it doesn't happen all the time where I'm excited to cancel plans. This is one of those times where it was not exciting. It was a real bummer.
Right. Yeah. I agree. So that's just a thing I think a lot of people have.
Okay, so how would you rate this Christmas for you this year
Rate?
during COVID?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't really like to rate things, but I thought it was a good time.
I got another question for you before we get into that.
Right.
Is how would you rate how much you like to rate things? 0 out of 10.
1.
Really? You don't like to rate things a 1 out of 10?
No, because everyone's scale is different. Everyone's like, my 10's different than your 10.
That's your argument?
I don't know.
Because everybody's scale is different?
I just don't wanna. I just don't like it.
Just don't wanna?
I don't know how to put my feelings into a number.
Okay. I think you're way overthinking this.
You asked me a question and I
Way into
answered
the
it.
weeds.
Do you like to rate things?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
But I'm also aware of what you're just talking about, but I do it anyways because
What would you rate
it's
our
fun.
relationship?
Our relationship?
Yeah.
Like a 4,000 out of 10.
Funny. That's funny. Me too. You had a good Christmas, yeah?
Yeah, I like this Christmas, although I like it with more people.
Definitely.
Me
Me too.
And we had small gatherings because of COVID and whatnot, and that's cool. But I think I like big Christmas gatherings, big Thanksgiving gatherings,
Yeah.
big 4th of July,
Do
big
you
New Year's.
Do you like going to and showing up to a holiday bash, or trying to have it at your house better?
Well, now that we have a house that we can have a big one or bigger, let's say, it's comfortable now for more people, or honestly, with just the 10 to 15 people you would usually have over
Right.
in our old house. That was a lot of people for that house.
Oh, yeah.
For this house, that feels appropriate. We could even stretch it into 20. So
now you'd rather have it here?
I'd rather have it here, but not for all of them.
Right.
I just, I like to warm the house. I like to put a little soul into our home.
I would prefer the big shebang is a leave the house, show up at the family, wherever, comfy situation.
Yeah.
And then a little side bang is at our house. A little friend get together, a little game night, but not the main course is not here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah. I still feel like I want to show up at, I think it's that deep rooted thing of Christmas is always better when you're a kid and you show up at grandma's or,
Right.
wherever the fuck you go.
Yeah. Wherever
And it's Christmas.
you go. So, next year, where do you want to spend Christmas?
The same places.
Really?
Unless we go to Hawaii at my dad's.
I want to spend it in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's where I want to spend it.
So
But that's weird because it's Hawaii. It's not cold
yeah.
or wintry.
Christmas in Hawaii, which we have done, also Thanksgiving, is amazing because A, you're with family, B, it's Hawaii, but it doesn't ever feel like a holiday because it's so ingrained in us that it's cold and you got, your fireplace with the Christmas tree and all that jazz, and wake up in the morning, come downstairs, do gifts.
This must be what people feel like if they live anywhere south.
I guess, unless you grew up there and have your own traditions.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Some people have never had a white Christmas.
Yeah, that's the best when it snows. It's just the best.
I can remember one Christmas where we woke up Christmas morning and there was like several feet of snow.
Yeah.
As a kid. That's rare.
So, I want to start wrapping this up.
Okay.
We're doing this 30 days of Christmas movies.
Yeah. How are you
30
doing?
Christmas movies in 30 days. It's too much now. It
Right.
was great for 20 days, like amazing, but 30 days is too much.
We have 5 days left.
We have 5 days left. Here's the thing, though, is we're starting to watch these like hyper Christmas adjacent movies where like the last 2 movies we saw, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
There's no spoilies,
No.
but there's one scene of Christmas in it.
Yeah.
Thank
like
God,
a minute.
or we wouldn't have been able to count it. And then The Nice Guys, the Shane Black movie
Also like a minute.
with Russell Crowe and
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Wait, no. Ryan Gosling.
Ryan
God damn it.
Ryan Goss.
Way different.
Our Goss.
Way different.
But kind of the same, though.
No.
Pretty much the same.
Not at all.
Hang on a second.
Here's Ryan Goss.
Really?
My hand is up high, guys. Here's Ryan Reynolds.
What?
Yep.
I disagree with that 100%.
That's fine.
110% disagree. Here's what Ryan Goss does have over Reynolds is...
It's not over. It still isn't over. Wait, is that right?
What are you referencing?
You don't know that reference?
Is that from
It wasn't over.
the girl from Mean
It
Girls?
still isn't over.
And then The Kiss in the Rain?
Oh, yeah, she is in Mean Girls.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, The Notebook, babe.
Okay. So here's the
on.
difference between Gossman and Reynolds rap is Gossman has legit high-end acting chops. Or
Right.
the Reynolds rap doesn't quite get there. Or maybe he just doesn't choose the movies. Maybe he has the acting chops, but he just doesn't choose those
Different movie. Yeah.
dramatic roles.
Different styles of acting, I'd say. Also, Ryan Reynolds has almost like a cheesy quality to his kind of like delivers lines a certain way,
Uh-huh.
right? Whereas Ryan Gosling, I mean, yeah. Whew.
Okay. Here's the thing is that movie that we just saw, The Nice Guys, literally less of a Christmas scene than Wonder Woman had
Yep.
in it, but it was there nonetheless. So we're kind of resorting to Christmas adjacent movies, which in my opinion work. They work.
I agree. Here's another something to think about.
Yeah.
We have to spend the 2 hours watching the movie. Anyone who's following along on Instagram stories spends 15 seconds looking at our review. So we're going to watch what we want to watch.
I think like maybe we get a second on average out of people's attention. And by the way, the people's attention that we do get is so tiny. That group is so tiny that literally we could stop doing it today and nobody would give a shit. But here's what we're going to do is we're going to follow through.
We are.
And we hope to grow this thing into an even bigger, small, scrappy community.
Yep.
Because that's what we'd like to do. We'd like to grow this into something bigger and better. And you know how you can help out there, listeners? I'm looking to you. Is follow us on SWGM Pod, at SWGM Pod. That's Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe to our YouTube. Tell a friend. Rate us on the iTunes. And
Hey, are we going to get on TikTok?
I don't know, probably.
TBD.
So here's the thing, is we've enjoyed your company. I hope you've enjoyed ours. This is Kyle, Tame Kyle, Cool Beans
Oh.
Jenkins.
Oh.
McGillicuddy III
McGillicuddy.
signing off.
And this is Kylie. Over and out.
We